we are functioning and we're good. Are we live? Are we hitting it? Okay, so we should be live on YouTube as well. So today, I believe today is the 11th day of November 2019, and also Veterans Day. And before I even take another step, wishing all the veterans or those who have served, those who are currently serving, or those who even plan on doing such, a happy Veterans Day. Appreciate your service, salute your service, salute you as individuals, and not only you, the ones who are in service or have been in service, but your families as well, because your families make the same sacrifice that you do when you leave them. So God bless each and every one of you on this Veterans Day, and I hope that if you all out there who are listening to the show have a family member who's a veteran, that you give them the honor and love and the respect that they deserve as well. As we open up on this Monday evening, it is nice to be here. I am Chip Washington, and you are in the midst of Real Talk with Chip Washington on this Monday evening. A pretty good show for you tonight, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a few minutes. But as always, if you are celebrating a birthday or an anniversary or some special occasion on this day, happy to you. In any case it is, happy to you. So I hope that you enjoyed your weekend. I hope that it was a safe weekend for you. And, welcome to the frozen tundra. It is raining, it is cold, it is windy, and, this is the kind of weather you see up north, but, we're getting a taste of it today. And just in case you hadn't noticed, the temperatures dropped about 25, 30 degrees this afternoon, at least that. At least 25 degrees, and tomorrow we probably won't see highs 30. We will be lucky if we see 30 tomorrow. Get out the mitts and get out the hats and get out the all the gloves and the big heavy coats, because you're going to need it. And overnight lows every night this week are going to be in the 20s. So welcome to winter, right? Absolutely. As we always do, we start off the show with news and notes, and of course, if you want to call in and hear anything that's of interest to you tonight, you can do so at 452-3094. That number is 901-452-3094. And you can always catch us on AM 1600 WMQM locally, or you can catch us on the TuneIn app, WMQM AM 1600. Or you can also watch us either now or later. We are streaming live on YouTube these days. And, of course, you can go to the YouTube page, put in AM 1600 WMQM, and the box will pop up or whatever, and you can subscribe to it, or you can, catch it later. But in either case, you can actually check us out. We should be streaming live right now on YouTube Live. And if we are, somebody send me a little note, send me a little email, send me a little text, whatever, text, something, anything that says, I got you, Chip, I got you, I see you, everything's looking good, sounding good, the whole 9 yards. News and notes on this Monday, I have a few. First and foremost, and I asked this question earlier today, and I don't know if anybody wants to talk about it or not, because there's still a lot of questions about James Wiseman, the all-everything player for the University of Memphis, who, as we all know, was declared ineligible by the NCAA on Friday, about 3 hours before game time. They did file an injunction, his lawyers did, Leslie Ballin and his group, and he did play on Friday night. As of today, James Wiseman is still declared ineligible from the NCAA. And, so the question is he going to continue to play? And if he does play, how long will he play? This has to do with the fact that in 2018, is it 20? I think it was 2018, where Penny gave some money to the school as a booster. He gave like $1 million to the school, and then he helped Wiseman. No, that's right. That was before that. I think it was 2008. And then in 2017, he helped James Wiseman's family move from Nashville to Memphis. He was not the coach of the Tigers at that time, and Wiseman obviously wasn't at the school either. But apparently there are some issues in between there that the NCAA thought didn't smell right, look right, feel right. and they have declared him ineligible because they say that Penny was a booster at the time, and giving money as a booster because you donated to the school is a no-no. So my question is, what do you think happened here? What is this all about? Why now? Who's behind this? There have been some interesting theories as to who might be behind this. Maybe a former coach. But remember, in 2008, when there was some issue with Derrick Rose and an SAT test, it took some years, but the NCAA vacated the entire 2008 season. And if I'm wrong about anything, just hit me up and let me know, because this to me sounds very, very unusual. But here's the more unusual part to me. Now, I'm just going to say this and give you something to think about. Regardless of what the court says, and I believe they're going to court again in 10 days, 9 days, but now 8 days, something like that. The question is, do you play James Wiseman, or do you follow what the NCAA says and leave him off the roster? I've heard some of the basketball pundits say that it is not wise to tick off the NCAA. Now, they played him that night, and tomorrow they have a big game against Oregon, the Tigers do. And, is he going to play, or is he not going to play? But you risk even greater penalty from the NCAA if you play him while they have declared him ineligible. And, it doesn't have anything to do with anything legal. This is the NCAA ruling. And it is highly unusual that I heard for a coach to play a player who has been declared ineligible by the NCAA at that same time. So we'll see what happens with that. That's going to be a very interesting case. And if you have an opinion, feel free to call and give it. 452-3094 is the number here. Also, remember David Fisdale? David Fisdale was the coach of the Grizzlies a couple of years ago, and got fired, and moved on down the road. Well, he's was hired by the New York Knicks, and today, based on some statements from the high office in the Knicks organization, they may be setting up to fire him again. The Knicks are 2 up and 8 down. So that's not a good thing either. So we'll see what happens with that. Bringing it back a little bit closer to home, over the weekend, it was pretty tough weekend from the violent perspective here in town. I think there were like 10 or 11 shootings, 2 dead, including a 19-year-old female who was shot in a club early yesterday morning. She was 19 years old, and apparently she was shot along with, I think, 3 other individuals. Males were wounded. She leaves behind a 3-year-old daughter. Very, very sad. I saw her father on television talking about this, and that's a tough loss. Any loss is a tough loss. Of course, I'm praying for the family, her family, and her friends, and all those who knew them, know the family during this very difficult time. There were 10 other shootings over the weekend. They found a man dead, I think it was last night, on I-240 around Norris, and they shut the interstate down for hours last night. So that was another one. And then I heard this afternoon that early this morning there was an accident on I-55 near the Winchester overpass. A woman was traveling northbound in the southbound lane on the interstate and hit a barrier head on, and that was the end of that. She was driving the wrong way on the interstate. Now, if this sounds familiar, we just had this about 2-3 weeks ago at best, where a woman was, I think, I-269. She had 3 children in the car. Nobody had a seatbelt on. She ran into an 18-wheeler, and everyone perished. They determined that the alcohol content was double of what it should be. So she was legally intoxicated, and that was a very tragic event. But here we go again with this. It was a woman in this accident this morning, 38 years old. She died, and we'll have to wait to find out what the details are behind that. But again, very, very sad situation, a sad set of circumstances out there. We're still dealing with a lot of folks out there with some rage. A lot of folks like to, I don't know what it is, man. You can't pass anybody. You can't, people think you're cutting them off. People won't let you over on the interstate. It's just a rudeness on the roads. And it's not a good thing. And, folks are getting hurt behind this thing. So, I just like I always say, exercise caution. And you know what? I'm too old for all this trying to fight. At one point in my life, I would have got out there and tried to scrap up too. But these days, you can't do that. I just let them go. They want to speed past me, good. You want to cut in front, good. Do what you got to do. Have a nice day. Keep it moving. And politics or political news, there is a runoff this week. 2 city council seats left to fill. District 1, Sherman Greer against Rhonda Logan. District 7, Berlin Boyd against Michael and Easter Thomas, who was on our show last week, by the way. Those elections are set for this Thursday, the 14th. Early voting is over. So if you care about your district and you care about who represents your district, you'll get out there and vote so we can get the last 2 city council seats filled so they can move forward with their business. A few minutes ago, I talked about how cold it is, and how cold it's going to be, where the city of Memphis has opened up a warming center. It's the Lewis Senior Center facility on Parkway. So, obviously when the temperature gets below freezing at night, they open up the warming centers so the folks who don't have a place to stay, who are homeless, have a place to hang their hats. But yeah, it's a tough little atmosphere out there. I mean, this morning I got up, it was like 56, 57 degrees. Went to the gym, did my thing, and as the day moved on progressively, it got colder and colder and colder and colder. One last story. I don't know if any of you were aware about a story in Texas that happened last week, in Kyle, Texas, as a matter of fact. Now, I don't know all the circumstances, but did you see the video of the teacher, a substitute teacher, that beat up a student? I mean, I guess, I don't know if the student was doing some yapping or what was going on, but it was a female. This woman went over to this girl and just hauled off and just socked her. She beat her like a drum. And then she pulled out of the chair and threw her on the floor. I don't know what happened with that. However, I do know that the woman was obviously fired, subsequently arrested and charged with aggravated assault. I think the child was 16 years old, the girl, the female. Now, there's always 2 sides to every story, and I only know the one that I heard because I saw the video and I heard the news story from the station that did the story, but they didn't say anything about what the student did. But they sure showed what that substitute teacher did. So, look, I got substitute teachers around here. Kids that like to take advantage of situations like that. Don't do that. You just never know. Might have a Rocky in the midst. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. That's a quick look at news and notes. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to start things off. We're going to talk about a couple of things tonight, hopefully. We're going to talk about a very special event that celebrates young people under 40 years of age. And we're also going to talk about fitness, and we're also going to talk about eating habits. And yes, Miss Fit Diva, Dina, is here, and she's back, and she's going to ruin our Thanksgiving. So anyway, this is Real Talk with Tip Washington. I am so happy that you are with us this evening, either by radio, by TuneIn, or by Facebook, by what is this? YouTube Live. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more right after this. Stay tuned.